Welcome back to Omni Football. Today is the 10th episode of 2021, and we are coming at you from another location, not the $1 million Omni Football studio, but the other studio, the alternative studio. We're coming at you from Ryan's place, and today we're talking about the Euro 2020, scheduled to 2021. We are now into the round of 16. I've watched most of the games. Have you watched
a pretty decent handful, I guess.
Good handful of them?
Yeah.
Of the ones that you remember, which ones stand out to you? Which ones, did you think were really good?
Today's game was pretty good. Germany and, not Germany, Portugal and France. Portugal and France was good. I would say Germany-France was pretty good, too. What other ones were good games?
No, I thought Portugal and Germany was good. The group of death games in general were pretty good. Like, they lived up to it.
Mm-hmm. Who did I watch? I watched England play somebody, and it was good. Who did they play after they played Scotland?
The Czech Republic.
That's probably what it was.
The Czech Republic.
I remember England played pretty well. I mean, yeah, there was pretty good games. There were definitely some groups that I just kind of didn't really pay attention to.
Yeah. For the most part, I think we were actually just talking about it before we started recording, but for the most part, I think we kind of called it as it is a little bit.
Ish.
For the most part. I mean, the only team that really surprised me, I think, was Italy.
Yeah.
But, so round 3 of the group stage just finished up today. I feel like I wasn't as hyped for the Euros during the regular season, like the season of the Premier League, Champions League season. But I feel like now that the Euros are here, I'm like actually really happy to see it because it's like
it's exciting.
It's really good. I've been impressed by like the games that have gone on. I think it's really good to see international football again. For me, I think the top game was Denmark versus Russia. And it was because Denmark had lost the first game because of the Christian Eriksen tragic incident. And then they lost against Belgium the second game, but they played really well. But it's Belgium, you know? Like De Bruyne came on and scored like 2 goals basically. So it was like kind of unfair. But dude, they came out on the last game against Russia. And dude, they were like, no, we have to win this to go through. Dude, and they like destroyed Russia. It was such a good game. But yeah, so we're gonna go through the round of 16. First up, Wales, Denmark. So I was just saying how I like Denmark, and I think that Wales is just Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey. And I think that Denmark actually have more than just 2 star players. I think Denmark has they have Schmeichel, they have like this new kid who came up. I think his name's Dansgaard. They've got a bunch of like talented players who maybe aren't like superstars, but they're really talented. I'm taking Denmark between the 2. What do you think?
I'm a little indifferent, honestly. I feel like it's
just all right. Denmark it is.
Yeah.
Denmark it is.
I feel like it could go either way. I think that it's so like one-sided.
Yeah, it's definitely it's pretty even because they're both not like.
The only difference is like one has Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
But it's Gareth Bale isn't a whole team.
Yeah, that's true, and that's kind of the problem with Wales is that it's like if Gareth Bale can't carry the whole team, then they kind of lose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one's easy. Next one on Saturday, Italy, Austria.
That'll be more interesting, I think, but I think it'll probably be Italy.
It has to be, I think.
Yeah.
I think it has to be, because Austria is kind of the same thing as Wales. Like, Austria, I think, is it's just David Alaba. And he plays at left back.
Well, they have Arnautovic.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's injured or something like that.
He might have gotten suspended for for one game, I think.
Yeah,
but he's back. I think he's back.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, dude, I still think Arnautovic is not as good as
Italy.
Yeah, dude. Italy's got like a whole squad, dude. They won all 3 games.
Yeah, they did. I saw some figure where it's like they've actually won like their past like
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
12 or something, right?
Yeah, it was something crazy. It was like 19 games in a row. So yeah, keep the streak alive.
I know, jeez.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Italy. Then Sunday we have the Netherlands against Czech Republic.
It'll be the Netherlands.
Yeah, I think it'll be the Netherlands. They're kind of like Italy, to be honest, where they have like a full team.
Yeah.
And their team's pretty good. Like they in the first round of the group stage they played against. Oh man, I can't remember who they played against. It might have been the Ukraine, but they played against them, and the Ukraine fought back to go 2-2. But in the dying moments of the game, like the Netherlands scored a winning goal off a header, and they won 3-2 that game. And I feel like when you win a game, kind of like in the last minutes, you kind of get that like we can do it. You know what I mean? That definitely. Belief. So I feel like they have that already, and they're a good team. So it's like, all right.
I mean, they went 3 for 3 too.
Yeah, they went 3 for 3 exactly. So yeah, so they're one to look out for. Then on Sunday, dude, a banger. A legit banger. Belgium against Portugal. That's a banger, dude.
It is.
Dude, and that honestly that's the craziest. That's the first of the bangers in the round of 16, because you got De Bruyne, right? And his company of Belgian superstars. Lukaku's on fire. They've got Courtois in goal. Hazard and Torgan both are playing decent. And then you've got Portugal, who, I mean, are really good, but also, like, not as good, I think, as Belgium, to be honest.
I think Belgium's more consistent.
Yeah.
They have more of a consistent lineup, and they produce more consistent results. Also, like, their coach, it's Martinez, right?
Yeah, Roberto Martinez.
Yeah, like, he's definitely more attacking, which is good because it's like they have the personnel to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas Portugal are kind of sometimes inconsistent with their play, inconsistent with their lineup. They have like options to do more things, but they kind of choose not to do more things. And they're definitely, just by how they played against France today, they were very attacking. They controlled the ball a lot, but they didn't necessarily always like finish everything.
Yeah.
Like it's good in the midfield, and then it gets into the box, and then they have some problems, which is strange because you think that it wouldn't be an issue in that section of the field for them.
Right. It's still pretty close, though. It's still pretty close, and I think that Portugal has showed enough against France and Hungary, and they lost against Germany, but Germany found the right mix, I think, in that game. And I think even though they were kind of lucky today to tie against France, I think that they defended well for most of that game, actually. Yeah. And, dude, honestly, like...
a lot of the calls were in their favor. Being real.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of the calls were favorable towards Portugal, but I mean, what they could control, they did. Yeah, they did perform relatively well. So, and dude, honestly, like I was gonna mention Rui Patricio, dude.
Yeah,
solid. Yeah, super solid goalkeeper. So I mean, dude, this is a good game.
No, it's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a good game, and I mean. I just hope it's going to be like a fair game where it's not like a controversial VAR call or something, you know? Because like I really hope like both of them just go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it really honestly just depends on Portugal and their lineup.
Yeah,
like I think Belgium are more favored to win, but depending on who's on the team sheet for Portugal, it definitely would make a big difference. It might be like a pretty significant counter-attacking kind of game.
Portugal, honestly, I think have the pieces to attack well, but I think that I don't know what it is about the front going forward that kind of has them not looking super dangerous.
I think it's because they rely a little too much on crossing. I think they don't take enough shots on goals. They don't just shoot enough. There's some moments today playing against France where I was like, oh, this is a scoring position. And then they would just try to get into the center more. They focused so much on their build-up that they didn't focus too much on their execution.
And, you know, I think also to that point, I also think that, like, they build up, but then when they get to that final, like, point in the final third, like, right in front of goal, I think that they don't have, like, a striker in place. Like, with Andre Silva?
Yeah.
He's a striker, right?
Yeah.
I think they should play him. I think they should, because I mean, granted, like I know Ronaldo occupies that role, but Ronaldo's older, and he's not like as dynamic off the shoulder to like run. And I feel like he's actually smarter on the ball in midfield than most midfielders. So I feel like if he dropped in and Andre Silva was, with his youth and like technique, is up top, that actually opens up, I think, more chances for them to finish those build-ups, you know?
I think it's just the problem is it's like you're only allowed 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the problem is it's like who do you take out?
Yeah.
Because it's like, are you going to take out Bernardo Silva?
Yeah.
Probably not. Are you going to take out Diego Jota? Probably not.
Maybe.
And that's if those two are even playing.
Yeah.
Like if it's João Felix in either one of those roles, like are you going to take out João Felix to play Andre Silva? Yeah. So it's just a lot of difficulty. It's like it's just hard.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of people going forward.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it's just the lack of a specific, no, like this is the striker. Like get it to him. Like your job is to score. Mm-hmm. I think part of the reason why their build-up breaks down is they're too much like, okay, we're here, where's Ronaldo?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes like the build-up includes Ronaldo. Yeah. So it's like so he's not in the center. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's not even really like a central player to begin with. Like he's more so on like the wings. So I don't know. I mean, it ultimately comes down to the coach. I think you're right though. I think if they had a solid number 9, like central forward person, it would do them well. Because even at times when Cristiano is kind of put in that role, like there are moments where you could possibly go for like an interception, but he doesn't because he's like maybe not super comfortable doing it or just like this isn't his game. Whereas if you just had like even someone in a high press just constantly pressuring something, it could lead to more results. Yeah. Especially if it's like a holding type number 9, because then it's like if he gets the ball because of an error and then it frees up Ronaldo to make a run. And then Ronaldo making a run means that the defender probably has to commit to Ronaldo, right? Yes. Because it's like you take your chances with the guy on the ball if Ronaldo's running, you know what I mean? So like just literally having someone like that focal point, it's like what Benzema does, right? It's like, and that's why Mbappe, and that's why like Mbappe doesn't play in the center even though Mbappe's their best player. Like they have Benzema, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing. Like it's like Ronaldo's like their best player, but he shouldn't be playing center, you know what I mean? But that's just all like talk, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. But like in the end, like, you know, like the coach picks it and then you just got to go try and fucking win, you know? So yeah. So moving on, that's half done. Then Monday, first game's Croatia-Spain. That'll be an interesting one.
Croatia-Spain. I think Spain will win it.
I don't know. I think Croatia defensively is pretty good.
Yes, I agree. And they did play against Scotland, Scotland are a pretty solid team. And they found a way to break Scotland down. And I don't think Spain's that much better than Scotland. But I think that if it's kind of the same thing. If Spain can field the right 11, then they can win it. I mean, and they have better players, I think, than Croatia. But at the same time, it's like if they play Morata and they don't have the right people around him and they don't make the right substitutions, like I could easily see Croatia winning that. You know what I mean?
I think that Croatia will probably win. I think so. I think even though today Spain won by 5, I don't think it necessarily means that they have the caliber to beat someone like Croatia.
Plus, I mean, like they Spain, I think, was in a group with, I think, Sweden. So, yeah. And I feel like Sweden and Croatia are probably similar in that they're, like, really good defensively, but they also have, like, some talent going forward. And Spain didn't do well against Sweden. So
Spain didn't do well against anybody.
They tied twice and then destroyed the Czech Republic, I think it was. Oh, Slovakia.
And it's like...
Yeah, and it's like, well, it's like, you see that on paper and you're like, yeah, obviously, but like, that wasn't the case before the game started. You know, you were kind of like, what's going to happen today? You know what I mean?
It definitely was a little bit of like.
So that's kind of it. I mean, that's kind of it. Like, I think Spain will win it, but it's also like, I'm not confident about that. Like, on the day, on Monday, it's going to be like, what are we going to see from Spain, you know?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. And then also on Monday, France and Switzerland.
I think that'll be pretty... Actually, I don't know. I think it'll probably be pretty open shut. Switzerland are... I'd say Switzerland are very kind of like meat and potatoes. Like, very just flat, I guess.
I think France will win this game, but Switzerland is not going to make it easy because Switzerland have a really good goalkeeper. Sommer, I think his name is.
Is it 2 games or 1 game?
It's just 1 game.
1 game. France will win.
It's just a knockout game.
France will win.
Yeah, I think France will win, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as because France, I think, has shown that they can bleed, right? Like they've tied against Hungary.
Yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah.
Right? They squeaked out a win against Germany, which was close. And then against Portugal, they couldn't win. So I feel like they're not like steamrolling teams right now either, you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. But who's Switzerland's best player?
Shaqiri.
Really?
I'd say so, yeah.
I mean, no offense to Shaqiri, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But do you think that Shaqiri can break down Varane?
No.
Or N'Golo
No.
play? Or
yeah, no.
whatever side defender he plays with.
Yeah, it's gonna be France is gonna have most of the ball, I think, and they're gonna control the whole game. But maybe I'm just hoping that Shaqiri pulls out a banger because he has that in his locker. But
I mean, so does Xhaka, but
yeah, that's true. I
don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it's probably not gonna happen.
Part of the reason why, if you look at today's game with France and Portugal have 2 pretty solid center backs, Pepe, Ruben Diaz. Who are Switzerland's center backs?
I can look it up, but I don't even know.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the point. So, I mean, like, if that's who Portugal's defense is, right? And then if you look at Switzerland's defense, like, if you take a team like France, I think that it'll be a pretty convincing win.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Elvedi, Akanji, and Rodriguez.
Who the fuck? I know who Rodriguez is.
I know who Elvedi is, but yeah, I mean, it's a different class, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it should be France. It should be France, and I think that's definitely not as close as I'm making it sound, but it should be France. But they're not. I think the Swiss are not going to make it easy because I think they have they've played well, considering they've played well. And then the last day of the round 16, Tuesday, England, Germany. And honestly, I don't want either of these teams to win, to be honest.
Fuck you.
I don't care. I actually want them both to get knocked out. They're disappointing, dude. Like, England, look at England's squad. It's like the Premier League All-Stars, basically. And it's like, I think the Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. And they're the All-Stars of the Premier League, basically. So they should be rocking, dude. You know what I mean?
But it just comes down, again, to the manager, Southgate.
Yeah, and that's exactly the problem with Germany, too. Is that, like,
true.
They have, like, such talent. And, like, when they played against Portugal, they had the right mix. But then against Hungary, they struggled again, just like they did against France.
Yeah.
So it's like, how is, like, both teams are so inconsistent. Like, it's like... I think it's the managers for both. Mm-hmm. I think if they both had better managers, would both be like flying.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's like if you take a team like Man City, right? You have Pep Guardiola. Obviously, everybody on Man City is really, really good. Like, you know, they have an A team and a B team and a C team and a D team. Like, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the difference is Pep being able to be like, no, this is who's playing today.
Yeah.
Like, these are the best today.
And also, like, here's my idea. I'm going to train people to fit into it and find everyone who fits into it and pick the best squad, right? And I just feel like Gareth Southgate, like, what kind of soccer is he playing?
I don't even know.
Also, Joachim Löw, like, what kind of soccer is he playing? I don't know either.
I don't know.
So it's like having like the NBA All-Stars go to the Olympics, right? And then just being like, I don't know, just like pick a number and then we'll randomize the team.
Figure it out.
Yeah, like who wants to start today? You know what I mean? It's like you've got LeBron James and Kevin Durant and like Harden out there, but like maybe they're like out. Maybe it's like all 5 of them are shooters and none of them are passers. You know? Or they all like don't do well on defense.
I think that's kind of the case with Germany.
Yeah,
it's like all the players are like trying to maybe be expected to play like the very possession based stuff, but then it's like who's their shooter?
Right.
Like if you just have all
who's
passers,
their scorer? You know
who's
what I
going to
mean?
score the ball?
Yeah, and I mean Muller's like almost that, but he's not ever been that.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't have one.
Yeah, and
that's
then
the
with
problem.
Like, England, I think it's like maybe a bit of the opposite.
Yeah,
because it's like who's going to make the build up stuff?
Yeah.
Like Henderson's not.
Yeah, and neither is Declan Rice.
Yeah.
So it's like the people you pick alongside Kane make a difference.
Yes.
And I was talking to Andres, I'm like, I would play a 4-4-2 with England and just start Rashford with Kane. Because they're both tall strikers and they both like to run off the ball. Like have them play it with each other because they both can shoot from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rashford scored from outside the box and so does Kane.
I don't know if I would do a 4-4-2. I think I'd do a 4-4-3, but it matters who you play on those 2 wing positions. I believe. Also in the midfield, obviously. But
they've been playing a 4-3-3. They've been playing a 4-3-3.
But it's like, who's playing? It's like what, Kane, Sterling.
Yeah, and then, who do they have?
Like
on the right?
just a floater, who like they kind of switch out or switch in.
Yeah.
Like whether it be, I don't even fucking know who it has been.
Who's played that side? I don't even remember. I know it was Grealish, Saka, this time around. Sterling.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't even know.
Oh, was it Foden?
Yeah, I think it was Foden.
It might have been Foden.
I think they need to either commit to having Kane be their striker, or just try to do like a false 9 thing. But if they have Kane be the striker, they have to make sure that Phil Foden knows his role, or if he doesn't know his role, either play him in the midfield, or just like have 2 people who can assist Kane, like i.e. like Saka, and Grealish.
Yeah, I think they look best with those 2. Definitely on the field. I would also find Rashford on the field if I had my way, and keep Kane on as well. But yeah, I mean, that's an interesting game. I mean, it's going to be... I think they both deserve to meet up against each other because, like, I'm happy one of them will be eliminated because then I don't have to worry about them anymore or talk about them anymore, think about them.
I feel like either it'll be a struggle for both teams and then, like, end in pens or something like that. Dumb. Or, like, a 1-0. Or it'll be just a landslide. Like, some teams somehow just happen to get it right. Yeah. And then it's just a demolish.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a one-sided win, but I don't know who.
I don't know who either.
And that's so dumb.
It could be Germany, it could be England.
And it could be England. Like,
and it could be like 5-0 either way.
Yeah, it's so dumb. But yeah, so, and then Tuesday we're finishing it off with Sweden and Ukraine. That's easily Sweden. Like, Sweden have a way better defense and way better attacking. Ukraine's not that good.
I didn't watch really either of them.
I watched Ukraine and they're not that good.
The only thing I could say is that this is, because it's just a one game thing. Yeah. Like, Ukraine
could just park the bus.
No, like, come to play. Like, play really aggressively.
Yeah, but
especially if Sweden tries parking the bus.
Yeah, I don't think so, though. I think Sweden won the group. They looked good. And then Ukraine kind of squeaked in one of the third place spots. Mm. And on the game that they needed to win to ensure they made it through, they didn't play well. So it's kind of like, well, were you saving up or something? Because this is it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Probably now. All right, so now talking about that. So I'm pulling up the bracket. So Belgium, Portugal, who you got?
I think Portugal can do it.
Okay, and then Italy, Austria, so that's Italy. So then Italy, Portugal.
I don't know, man. That's like just... If Portugal win at that point, it's like almost luck.
So then it's got to be Italy.
I think something would have to click with them, like really, really well, for them to push past Italy.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be an easy side of the tournament for them.
Yeah, this is the hardest side, because then look at the other side here. France, Switzerland. It should be France.
Yeah. I was going to say it could potentially just be Portugal playing France again.
Yeah.
And if they do, I think France would probably win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So France, and then Croatia, Spain. I think Spain.
I think Croatia.
Okay, so then let's go Croatia. France, Croatia.
I think France.
It's France, right?
Yeah.
So then it's basically, I think, and I think here it's Italy, Portugal. But then I think Italy wins because the way they've been playing, they're convincing. So I think it's France, Italy.
If it's France, Italy,
that's actually a pretty damn good game.
That's pretty good, but I think Italy could probably, because if that means that they've kept the streak going.
Yeah.
And they could be in like steamroll mode.
Steamroll mode. Yeah, I think so. If that's the game, I can't wait for that game. If that's the game. But yeah, if it was Italy and France, just from the way I saw both teams play, I'm taking Italy to get to the final.
It could be Italy. They've definitely been really
and they're on the harder side. Like, look on this side. Sweden, Ukraine. So I'm telling you, Sweden, right? England, Germany. Let's just say Germany, right? Just flip the coin in my head, Germany, right?
Right.
Netherlands, Czech Republic, obviously Netherlands. Wales, Denmark. I'm taking Denmark. But then I'm taking the Netherlands there.
Yeah.
Right? And then here I'm taking Germany, let's say. But then the Netherlands, I think, beat Germany.
I feel like if England makes it through, and then it's England-Netherlands, I think England could win. But I think if it's Germany-Netherlands, I think the Netherlands will win.
Oh, so you think England, if they get through, it's because they found it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So then they would get to the final against Italy then. In my kind of roundup.
Yeah. And then but if that's the case, I don't know. Italy probably at that point would be so dominant and so just like we've won so many fucking times.
Yeah.
Like we know exactly what we need to do.
I think so. Of the two sides of the bracket, this side right here, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, France, Croatia, Spain, I think the winner will be from this side of the bracket.
Probably.
Because I don't think England or Germany or Netherlands, I think those are the three maybes. You know what I mean?
They're big maybes, though.
And I honestly think, like, if whoever gets out of here will deserve it.
Yeah.
And whoever gets out of here may just find their luck in favor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking it. I'm taking Italy, dude. I think they're like confident. They've got a deep squad, and they know who their best 11 is. And they've got the streak, dude. They've got the streak.
They do have the streak. The streak means a lot, especially if it's been the same dudes every single time.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal. It's hard to think that you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
If it's like this is number 21.
Yeah, like we're gonna just keep going, steamrolling. So and then with that, we'll end the podcast. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe. And we'll be back